I've been asked numerous times how I believe a security structure should be organized within a company and why. So let's start with where the head of information security should report into. There are various views: into the risk management function, direct to the CEO, direct to another member of the executive, or that it does not matter. My view is a simple one. It must not report into the CIO, Chief Information Officer, or to the head of IT, as this relegates security to being IT security. It must not report into the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer, as then the CTO is marking their own homework. In smaller to medium-sized organizations, the head of InfoSec may find themselves reporting to the COO, Chief Operations Officer, or the CFO, Chief Financial Officer. These latter two also carry their own risks, but they're risks which can be mitigated if you hold proper discussions prior to joining the company. Security cannot be viewed as a cost balance sheet. Some CFOs, my current CFO included, grasp that information security is there to protect the value creation processes and objectives of the business. Indeed, my current CFO sits on the internal InfoSec forum and is a qualified ISO 27001 internal auditor. This leads me into governance more broadly. You need the CEO and the executive behind you lending their full support. You need to bring on board the heads of the different business units. In addition, and sometimes this can be the most difficult, you need to swing enough critical mass of middle management behind you. It is the middle management and those they line manage who are most familiar with the day-to-day implementation of the company's objectives in operational terms. It is all well and good stating you are conducting security awareness training and running other training, but none of it comes to fruition if there's a lack of communication and engagement with the numerous stakeholders within your organization. You need to demonstrate the value of security and risk management not only for the business, but to their individual roles and departments. So how does this relate to implementing ISO 27001 or indeed another framework like NIST? It comes under 5 themes: define, design, deploy, demonstrate, and develop. First, you need to obtain management commitment for the project, then establish a project team, determine the scope of the information security management system, establish the ISMS strategy and objectives, define the responsibilities, define what security management looks like, assess the risks and develop operational controls, establish monitoring and measurement systems, conduct management reviews, conduct an internal audit, and if you wish, get a certification audit by a third-party certification body. If you do not wish to undertake this last step and you have developed a bespoke ISMS, you can undertake an exercise mapping your controls to, for example, the SOC 2 or ISO 27001 or TSAC controls. For responsibilities, who is ultimately responsible for the security framework, including reporting on its effectiveness? Hint, this needs to be the CEO or another member of the executive. There needs to be the presence of an InfoSec forum. There needs to be asset and risk owners. You need to state that managers at all levels hold the responsibility for compliance with the security controls and ensuring adherence by their staff. Also, temporary workers, third parties where appropriate, and contractors must also be bound to comply. For security management, information assets have to be defined, identified, assessed for risk, and appropriately protected. There needs to be a risk escalation process. Security policies covering IT systems, personnel security, facilities, chain management assurance, business continuity, and the collection, use, sharing, retention, and disposal of information has to be implemented and adhered to. Security training has to be made available to everybody. There needs to be an active security incident reporting process. And finally, there needs to be regular compliance assessments. Throughout all this, you need to understand your company and its context. You need to have good asset management, which is much more than simply the number of laptops and includes patents, cloud, HR, PII, suppliers, etc. Your security objectives must be aligned to the business objectives and designed to protect how your company creates value, i.e., how it makes money. You must understand the needs and expectations of all interested parties. You need to understand roles, responsibilities, and authorities, as well as how to resource the embedded security program, how to address risks and opportunities, how to continuously monitor and audit, how to undertake corrective actions, how to conduct management reviews. The last three constitute the develop theme, as the program is never ever static. Finally, there is how to report on the security program through to the executive committee in business terms, not IT speak. I trust this gives you a flavor on how to go about creating a security framework for your organization. Please feel free to drop a comment or question in the comment section below or catch me on LinkedIn.